To me, it just means taking control of what future you want for yourself. I think that's what independence means. Taking control and doing all of the right things that you need to do to arrive where you want to arrive at. And you can't do that if you're not independent. So for me, that's what it means, taking control. I think we need to build an egalitarian society. You find that in our 5 national goals and directive principles. Egalitarian simply means a country where there's the same justice for everyone, there is equal opportunity for everyone, and that through people's hard work and effort, they are able to advance themselves. I think that's what Papua New Guinea needs to build, because I think that's what we have missed in the last 50. We have not succeeded in building an egalitarian society. And I think when you look around, you can see the disaffection, you can see the discontent, you can see the reactions from a lot of young people who have been, disenfranchised, disengaged. And so I think that's what we've got to actively try to build, commit ourselves to building that free and fair society where everyone has an equal opportunity, an equal chance, that all of the wealth of Papua New Guinea is equally deployed to all of our people. I think that's what we need to strive for. I got the opportunity to listen to some of our founding fathers personally, and many Papua New Guineans don't get that opportunity. So, I've sat under Bernard Narakobi's house, listening to him talk about, the effort they put into, sharing a taro kongkong on the fire. And he's an amazing intellect. I also had the opportunity to sit down with Sepik, and he wasn't as educated as, in fact, he had very little formal education. So comparing him with Narakobi, again, a man of great wisdom, a man who saw a future. And then, of course, Sir Michael Somare, the father of the nation, sitting down, listening to him. And I put some pointed questions to him. Like, I remember one time he invited some of the young Sepiks to Boutique Hotel. And we were all sitting around having dinner, having a few drinks. And I think a lot of the young, I say young, but like my age, they got a bit drunk and everyone started talking. And I wasn't drinking, of course, but they were asking the old man questions and he was responding. And I remember asking him this question. I said, Papa, you've been stop bossing country long time. But you're neglecting people all Sepik here. And many of us are unhappy with that. So what's your, I want to understand from you why you did that. And then he said to me, young man, he said, when we were becoming independent, we didn't have as much money as you have now. And it was going to be difficult. And he said, I had to think of my people on the islands. I had to think of my people in the swamps, in the grassland, and in the mountains, he said. I had to think of everybody. And the only people that I could allow to make a sacrifice were my own people, all Sepik people, all Semna, he said. So you have to see it from my perspective. And when he said that, like everybody that was making noise around the table, all gonna go quiet. And even me, like I had goosebumps listening to him, and I thought, wow, this man saw a future that none of us did. And then, even later in life, like I became good friends with, and I'm still really great friends with Dr. Momis, the late Sir Julius Chen, Seme Kere. They were personal friends of mine. And listening to their different perspectives, I thought to myself, wow, the dreams they had for Papua New Guinea, the dreams they still have. To me, I think that would be the most enriching thing for me is being able to engage with them, try to understand what they saw, and then to sort of distill it into my own thinking to say, all right, how can I change my thinking or improve my thinking to fit in with what all of these great men saw? For me, that's probably the greatest thing I take out of all of this. I think our young people, and I'm not going to blame one single factor. I think there were many inadequacies that these young people faced throughout their life. So that's shaping their vision of the future, which is unfortunate. But what I want to say to young people is that you have to remain positive. One thing that I've learned in my life is that everything will pass away. All of the corruption, all of the crime, all of these things, every country has faced them. Some were lucky, they were spared, but most countries have faced the same issues. But the people that were responsible for creating those circumstances, they lose power, they fall down and die, and then you have the opportunity for renewal. So, I want to say to young people, you can change your circumstances. You just have to remain positive, work hard, and you've got to make the right decisions too. Many times we blame the members of parliament. The members of parliament didn't elect themselves. Somebody did. And I want to say to the young people, right now, if you are between the ages of, say, 10 and 35, you are the majority. There's 6 or 7 million of you. You outnumber the people who are my age, who are making your life difficult. So use your power, and use your power positively. Start engaging, start coordinating, start deciding for yourselves what kind of leadership you need that's going to change your circumstances. And start agreeing on that. Look beyond your tribe, look beyond supporting your uncle or your someone you know, and look towards supporting the person who best represents the future that you want. And support that. And remain positive. Because if you look at the world around us, the entire world is more prosperous today than it ever was in the past, at any time in history. Now, prosperity exists around the world. It doesn't exist here. And therefore, we need to figure out how to get there. And the way to get there is by reimagining, reinventing, reevaluating where you are. It's not about giving up. It's not about lashing out. Like me personally, I grew up in a settlement. I never gave up. So if, there are people like me that can make it out of a settlement, make it out of a village, those who have had, and I say to everyone who's had a good opportunity, if you've had a good opportunity and you wasted it, you have no excuses. But if you've never had a good opportunity, then there's no need to give up. You just keep fighting, keep pushing. And with the opportunities that are being created now, I'm sure that we can have a better future. But the young people need to actively decide if they want that future for themselves or if they want a different kind of future. That's what I would say to young people today. I've thought a lot about why should we celebrate, and to be honest, I've been really thinking about that because I see the sentiments, I read what young people are writing and I read the anger, the frustration, I feel all of that. And, it wasn't until this morning that I developed a good response, so put it that way. The first thing is that I was probably 4 years old when September 16, 1975 came around. So I don't remember anything. And people tell me, it was a fun, like people in my village, all killing pig, all celebrate, so it was a fun time for people who were adults at the time. But if you were just a kid, like I was, you didn't know what happened. This is a 50-year anniversary. It's never going to happen again. 1975 happened once. And a lot of us missed it. I missed it. I was there, but I missed it. But there were those who were, say, 12 to 30 years old who were there in 1975. And they enjoyed it. They celebrated it. Now, and some of those are still alive today. And they're going to celebrate it again. So those are the lucky ones. They're going to have 2 opportunities to celebrate. Most of us will only get 1. I'm only going to get 1, which is this one. Those who are between, say, 12 and 35, they might be here in 100 years' time to celebrate the 100 years. So those are the lucky few. They're going to celebrate 50 years, and they're going to celebrate 100 years. They're going to have two opportunities. For most of us, you're only going to get 1 opportunity. So I'm in the category of those. I'm not going to be here in 100 years' time. When we're celebrating 100 years, which is 50 years from now. I won't be here. And so I thought to myself, this is my only opportunity to celebrate a significant milestone. So I don't want to waste it. I want to remember it, because it's the only memory I'm going to have of something significant. Because I missed 1975. I was there, but I wasn't there. You know what I mean? I was too young to understand. And I think that's what I would say to most people, Yeah, okay, things aren't going well. Yeah. Our politicians are mostly responsible for it. Okay, let's accept that. But don't let the politicians spoil it for you. You decide for yourself whether you're going to look at the negatives so much that it robs you of your opportunity to celebrate a significant milestone in the life of this country. So I think the milestone should be celebrated. I think the achievements of the fathers, the founding fathers, needs to be celebrated, because, in 1975, they faced racism, segregation, apartheid, and they fought against it. We were not there. So we didn't experience the difficulties that they did. But they did something about it. They got independence. Today we face a different set of challenges, and they are very real and very difficult. I accept that. We may have been very poor at solving those challenges. I accept that also. But that doesn't mean we are going to be incompetent and unable to solve those problems forever. At some point, Papua New Guinea is going to get good leadership. Papua New Guinea is going to get leadership that is not indulging in corruption. And so the good times are still coming. And I think that's, for me, the important thing is to remain positive and to see what may be possible, and to not drown in the difficulties of today. I think that's the message that all Papua New Guineans should think about seriously. Get in there and enjoy it now, because it's not going to come again. And there are only a few people alive today who are going to be here 50 years from now, and who are going to enjoy that occasion, but most of us won't be. I wish every Papua New Guinean man, woman, child the happiest of celebrations, and I hope you make the most of it, and I hope you all remember it for a long time to come. And for the young people who are watching, those who are lucky enough to be here 50 years from now, I wish you double celebrations when the time comes. Happy 50th anniversary to all of you.